Today, we step into one of the most heartbreaking chapters, the stories of American female celebrities whose lives were slowly and painfully claimed by cancer. These were not quick, merciful endings. They were long, exhausting battles fought with courage and grace, often hidden from the public while fans only saw their smiles and strength. Dreams, families, and entire communities were shaken as these bright lives faded too soon. Farrah Fawcett, the beloved American television actress who brought warmth, glamour, and extraordinary courage to generations of viewers, passed away on June 25, 2009 at the age of 62. Her death was the heartbreaking end of a 3-year battle with anal cancer that began quietly in 2006 with what doctors thought would be treatable, but soon became aggressive and relentless. She endured surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy, and, when hope in the United States was fading, she traveled to Germany for experimental therapies, clinging to faith and the love of her family. In her raw and honest NBC special Farrah's Story, the world saw her thinning frame wrapped in hospital gowns, her trembling but determined voice reassuring her elderly father back in Texas, her son Redmond visiting under supervision, and Ryan O'Neal holding her hand as the disease returned and spread. By June 2009, she was too weak to continue treatments, and on that summer morning at St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica, surrounded by Ryan and close friends who prayed and whispered memories, the woman who once seemed untouchable closed her eyes for the final time, leaving her son and millions of fans in shock and mourning. She had been born Farrah Leigh Fawcett on February 2, 1947 in Corpus Christi, Texas, the second daughter of a contractor and a homemaker, a shy and artistic child who first dreamed of painting before Hollywood found her. After studying art at the University of Texas, she moved to Los Angeles, modeling and appearing in commercials before landing the role of Jill Munroe in Charlie's Angels, which in one season made her the most recognizable woman on TV and turned her red swimsuit poster into a pop culture icon. Refusing to be just a poster, she went on to earn acclaim in hard-hitting dramas like The Burning Bed, Extremities, and Small Sacrifices, showing a depth and range that surprised many. Through breakups, headlines, and comebacks, she stayed gracious and generous, and in her final years she used her illness to raise awareness and funds for others through what became the Farrah Fawcett Foundation. Today her legacy is not only the glamour she brought to Charlie's Angels, but the extraordinary bravery she showed at the end. A woman who turned private suffering into public courage and left the world with a memory of strength and light. Kirstie Louise Alley, the beloved American television and film actress who brought warmth, wit, and extraordinary charm to generations of viewers, passed away on December 5, 2022 at the age of 71. Her passing was the heartbreaking close of a fight that few outside her inner circle even knew was happening. In early 2022, she began feeling unwell, and after tests, was told she had stage 4 colon cancer. A diagnosis that left her stunned but determined. She immediately entered treatment at the Moffitt Cancer Center in Florida, trying every option offered, but the disease moved faster than anyone expected. Those final weeks were spent in a quiet hospital room with her children True and Lily by her side, friends coming and going softly, and nurses saying she still cracked jokes between treatments, still asking about others before herself even as her body weakened. On that December evening, she slipped away peacefully, leaving her family holding hands around her bed and a world of fans shocked by the sudden news. She had been born on January 12, 1951 in Wichita, Kansas, the daughter of a small business owner and a homemaker, and grew up in a modest Midwestern home where she was known for her quick wit and big dreams. After high school, she attended Kansas State University and then moved to Los Angeles, overcoming a period of addiction and working as an interior designer before giving acting a try. Her break came as Lieutenant Saavik in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, but it was her years as Rebecca Howe on NBC's Cheers, a role that earned her an Emmy and a Golden Globe, that made her one of the most recognizable women on television. She went on to light up the screen in the Look Who's Talking films opposite John Travolta, headline her own sitcom Veronica's Closet, and win another Emmy for David's Mother, showing audiences a mix of comedy, vulnerability, and strength. Away from the spotlight, she built a family, adopted 2 children, became a grandmother, and opened up about her struggles so others would feel less alone. Kirstie Alley's sudden death left a hole in Hollywood, but her legacy of resilience, laughter, and unforgettable performances continues to shine long after the cameras stopped rolling. Aretha Louise Franklin, the beloved American singer, songwriter, and pianist who gave soul music its heartbeat, passed away on August 16, 2018, at the age of 76 after a long and private fight with a rare and aggressive pancreatic neuroendocrine cancer. In the last year of her life, she became increasingly weak, quietly canceling shows and stepping away from public appearances she had always loved. By August, she was moved into hospice care at her Detroit home, where her children, grandchildren, and closest friends gathered around her bed as soft gospel hymns played, the same kind of music she had sung as a child. Outside her house, hundreds of fans stood with flowers, candles, and prayers, waiting hour after hour for news, knowing the Queen of Soul was slipping away. It was a deeply human, heartbreaking end for a woman whose voice had carried hope and strength to millions. She had been shaped by struggle and music from the beginning. Born on March 25, 1942, in Memphis, Tennessee, to Reverend C.L. Franklin, a renowned Baptist preacher, and Barbara Siggers Franklin, a gifted gospel pianist and singer. Aretha was raised in Detroit after her father accepted a pulpit there. She lost her mother at just 9 years old and soon became a young mother herself. But even in that hard time, she found refuge at the piano and in the choir of her father's church, developing the sound that would one day define a genre. By 18, she had signed her first record deal, traveling from city to sing. And in 1966, her move to Atlantic Records changed everything. Respect, Chain of Fools, and You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman became not just hits, but anthems of dignity, love, and freedom that crossed generations and movements. Over the next 5 decades, Aretha Franklin won 18 Grammy Awards, sang at the funeral of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and at the inaugurations of U.S. presidents, appeared in the Blues Brothers, and became the first woman ever inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Even as illness and private pain marked her later years, she continued to return to the stage, her voice still soaring, reminding audiences of the power of perseverance and song. Her legacy today is more than music. It is the story of a woman who turned hardship into art and left behind a catalog that still moves, comforts, and inspires people all over the world.